greatest wealth transfer in history is happening. So let's talk about the wealth transfer which is happening in front of us. It really is important to discuss about that and understand various aspects, because this movement of money is what you have to follow. As it is said, you follow the money, then you make money. As the redistribution of wealth is happening around us, we as XRP investors need to properly understand this. Why? Because XRP and Ripple is written all over it. And if you still miss out, then it's your mistake, not others who are trying to educate you with all of these information. Okay, so wealth is being moved. While it is being moved, where is it being moved? Right? What really matters? We have to understand that. The internet of value is what it is going towards. That's a blockchain, right? And the internet of value and the infrastructure of networks is being highlighted there. You can understand that it is interoperable in nature. So what is the internet of money? It's written all over it again, Ripple or XRP. Now, what is the internet of value? We understood that from one article. Is it just one article showing that? No, this is Ripple's presentation, but from Japanese government website. And then this one, again, showing a different presentation, but from a different website, endorsing the same idea. And then come into Delight, you get to see something similar. So you get to see usage of XRP via RippleNet, XRP Ledger, ILP, and many other initiatives by Ripple and other developers who are working on XRP Ledger and other projects. Now, why would the price of XRP increase even if all of these are true, right? Brothers and sisters, this is really easy to understand, but don't really miss out on this one without going through these documents and understanding what you have really invested on. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. If you saw value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to extend your support, you can use the PayPal, Patreon, or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. Patreon will allow you to get charts, setups for different assets based on your portfolio. Not everyone would be having only XRP in their portfolio, right? You can get different charts, setups for every different type of assets, let it be crypto, commodity like silver, gold, or any others like Forex. If you're doing trading Forex and all, you can get those chart and setup. Just look at the Patreon, and if you would like to join, you can. Before we jump into all of those fundamental things, documents, now that is actually a lot of documents which we would like to go through, which you can see here is a lot. And I would gradually like to take you guys through all of this article in an immediate manner without wasting time. So first, this is a pattern which I observed, say, which was in the history back in 2017. We were trading within a range, then we dipped below that range. Now do understand this is a daily chart, so the number of days is kind of limited in that market cycle. Then we came back into that trading range, we consolidated in that area, went to the upside, which is the resistance of that area, and then took a couple of days to consolidate around there and then break above that. Now why am I showing you that now? This is a chart of XRP, and if you zoom out and put it on a weekly, you kind of get something similar. You have a trading range in which XRP was trading and then it broke below. There is a little bit of difference, but if you focus on that, you'll understand that it is kind of showing you similar pattern. It broke below, then it came back. Now it is retesting that area. So what are we looking at? A push to the upside towards 0.3 like here, and then retest that area and then fly to the upside. So if you zoom a bit more out and look at different zones which the price may actually go towards, you can actually see first the price came, tested this level, it got rejected, but it made a higher low and then pushed through that. Then again, now this one is acting as a support. So what are we looking at? Next one should pass through 0.29, 0.3 area towards 0.35 and then correct towards 0.3 and then usually do the same towards 0.4, 5, 4, 6 range. So that is something what we are looking at on a medium term. Now on a shorter time frame, using a 3-day chart to understand what really is happening on a shorter time frame, if you focus on those two arrows which I am pointing, it is kind of the reversal symbol which you are really getting, and that too on a long-term support area, which really makes that quite important. Now, if you remember in our previous videos, we actually talked about now during this particular duration, which is 6th of September to 24th, when we saw this bounce after that, say 25, 26, we told you that MACD and price is showing a divergence, and that really happened here. So when you follow RSI and price from there, you can see that the price is moving to the upside, but the price is being resisted around 0.25, which is acting as a resistance, 0.245 in that area, 0.24, 0.25 that area. But if you look at the RSI, the horizontal line I've drawn here, this particular area is broken. RSI is moving to the upside. So I'm looking forward for a breakout above this until something worse come out and all the market tanks. Now, if we move directly into a shorter time frame chart, which is a 30-minute chart, which I'm using here, you can see that RSI is actually moving to the downside, showing the strength is reducing along with the MACD, but the price action is showing you a triangle. It is moving towards the upside. Now the chances are if we move and break over this one, we may see a breakout to the upside. Why? In a longer time frame, say when we zoom a little bit out and look at the daily chart, we kind of get a head and shoulder and we are at the neckline. So if we are able to break that range, then we are going 10-15% up next one. So last day we went up 8%. So what if we are going 10 to 15% in the following days? So that is the technical perspective. Now looking at the general cryptocurrency market, we understand not every asset is moving similarly and not every asset show you the same opportunity, right? If you look at the history, you'll understand what is the percentage of fluctuation which you need to reach there, considering the previous all-time high. So if you look at that, one in the top contender is XRP showing 1400% towards the all-time high, whereas Ethereum gives 300%, BTC is 88%, and as you come down, you can see Bitcoin Cash, which really usually goes to that 51% hack, blah blah blah, and then come towards Polkadot. Now that's mainly due to, I think, the redistribution towards the bottom. But if you look in the top area, you can understand XRP is a top contender to make more profit out of it. Now, if you really go into the chart, just a 1 hour chart to understand what really is happening as of now and zoom in to see what is happening, I see that the fluctuation is going towards the top. Now, when I prepared that chart, as I showed you just now, it was at the bottom, right? The price action was at the bottom. Now, the price did found a support there and it is bouncing from that area. So it really makes sense as of now, as I'm making the video, the price is bouncing towards the upside. So if we manage to break about this particular area, it is going to be a bullish move in a very short time frame. Maybe it will only give you 2 to 3% in fluctuation at that particular moment. As you can see, 2.5%. But when the same is happening here, it is breaking about this trend line resistance, it is breaking about this trend line horizontal resistance, and then automatically confirming the head and shoulder pattern which we observed in XRP. Where is that head and shoulder? Yeah, this one. So as we move above that, we get a confirmation for this one. So that's kind of cool. Now, why is it really important to talk about the wealth transfer which is happening around us and look at XRP? Because there are different documents through which I would like to take you guys. Now, generally we already saw that there is a lot of wealth being transferred. In some article it states 58 trillion of wealth transfer, some it states 65. So, kind of take it or leave it. Say 60 trillion of wealth transfer is happening. I'm not saying 60 trillion and everything is coming into XRP. What I'm saying is the trend of investing is changing. And I just showed you guys how the trend is changing, right? Everyone is looking at a new technology, which is blockchain and distributed ledger. Blockchain will fundamentally change the way we do business. Every CEO from every industry wants to learn about this. Now, this is coming from NTT data. Do understand this really shows the importance of that data, right? So as we look at the redistribution of wealth, they are also looking at financial inclusion, look at the economic inequality, right? So they are focusing on that. Now, this is all happening at a time when the assets, say stocks and bonds or whatever you're looking at, is going to be tokenized, right? All of them are getting tokenized. So that is blockchain. So if we are looking at NTT data, which is published before that, yes, that is really happening. And if that is happening, what we should matter? Programmable assets, trust, ownership, contracts, which is, smart contracts and other stuff, based on what? Decentralization, disintermediation, distributed ledger, cryptography, and consensus. So that gives you a clear idea of where we are going. That is towards the Internet of Value. And the previous article, now I have highlighted this article previously too, but this is an area where you should understand what it really is. Ripple is often referred to as the Internet of Value. Now, is it only stated in one area? No, it's being repeatedly stated. Now, why the price should go up? One simple thing is that the ripples or XRP is designed as an appreciating asset, meaning it has a burn rate. Here in the document from Deloitte, it highlights each transaction destroys a small amount. This should be insignificant for normal users. Like us, we'll say, it's really small amount, but would rapidly become expensive for malicious users trying to spam the network in that perspective. But when you come to the bottom, it shows you that this makes XRP a scarce asset, which would cause the currency to appreciate over time. So are you here as a short-term trader to trade this market, or are you here as an investor? That gives you the right perspective, right? If you really understand that, you will get that point where we are going. Why? Because this one recently, Ripple just put this one out in their Ripple Insights. And this shows Ripple's mission in action. They are on track. They never deviated from that one, right? So they're trying to change the status quo, and it really is happening from all the documents we can understand, right? So whenever we are talking about central bank digital currency, the movement which is happening, I'll actually take you guys through that too. Here, when you talk about digital euro and Ripple, meaning it's XRP, right? It can change the world. How can it change the world? You go to the bottom and you have different aspects through which I'll take you guys to different documents which talks about XRP and how it is playing that role it will be. Now, as we see this, from here, if you go through that, you understand how digital asset XRP is being highlighted repeatedly over XRP ledger with XRP, and then go into the asset itself, which is the page for XRP ledger. You get to see this. XRP is the best digital asset for payment. Now, when you go through that, you kind of get different aspects. One, it is fast, scalable, low cost, and sustainable. That is one of the important area which we are seeing in United Nations, wherever you go, right? And at the same time, it should be interoperable with the ISO standard. Now, when you see Stellar's XLM being named in different areas, go and check whether they are compatible with ISO standards. It really changes the game, because I'm not saying XLM Stellar network will not be used. It would be used. It will play its role in this new financial system, but the wider infrastructure or the base which is being talked about here in this one, which looks like something like this, network of networks, and the interoperability layer would be ILP. You can see that kind of distributed aspect in that, right? If you go through the entire document, you'll understand what it means to have that consensus. Now, looking at RippleNet, you'll understand the percentage of validator and decentralization. You are getting the most there. Now, with this idea in mind, you come here. Can Ripple, that is XRP, steer the digital euro? Because previously in a document from Bank of France, they stated if you are going to look at CBDC issuance, XRP ledger or blockchains like Ethereum and Ripple are suited for that. Now, that being stated, you really have to understand Ethereum network is limited in its scalability, right? So when they talk about CBDC. Now this document is from OMFIF. You should understand that, right? It's another important institution in payment sector. Now, they actually, when they talk about CBDC, that is central bank digital currency, they talk about the availability of offline processes. Now, back in that day, 2017, 50,000 transactions were able to process in XRP ledger. But after which, if you go to Ripple's website and come here for the scalability, 2019 July 15, they updated it to 65,000 plus transaction. Now that's including both offline and online. Some says no, it's only online TPS which matters, transaction per second. But in reality, when you're looking at the CBDC era, offline transaction is really important because the game is final game. You can say it's kind of the end game for at least next century. The entire finance market is changing in this era. If you agree with that or not, it really is happening. When you come to this particular document, which talks about digital euro and the role of digital currency or DLT networks, you can see this is the article which is from Frankfurt School of Blockchain Center, and this is the new one, May 2020. It's not that old. So when you read through that, you understand that how the current economy of money work, how the money flow infrastructure works and all. And when you come to the bottom, they talk about, in addition to the development of wholesale CBDCs, you kind of get private projects like Ripple and something planned like JPM. So when you are able to watch all of this, you should understand, yes, it hasn't been already listed whether it's a security or not. But if you listen to this one, you'll understand that if it is not like that, chances are it will be a commodity. Now I'll just play that for a moment so you guys will get to understand that.
First and foremost. And if it's not a security, it is most likely a commodity. And so that is the initial sort of test. What I will say is the interesting thing, unlike other kinds of investment contracts, is a digital asset can transform itself throughout time. So you can have a situation where something in an initial coin offering is very much a security, but over time, the system becomes more and more decentralized. The enterprise that originally sort of sponsored the currency is no longer in the fore. The thing is sort of running itself. There's an intangible value, that's there. So you can have things that actually switch back and forth. You could also imagine.
With that, I think majority of your questions related to XRP being put into that list of securities is kind of, going to zero, because that chance shows, even if you think that Ripple's XRP was an initial coin offering or whatever in the beginning, now it's not, right? It has its own tangible value. Whatever he talks about the evolution of that system, it really matches with XRP, right? So in this time when we are looking at the central banks working towards the central bank digital currencies, going through different documents, different websites and all, you will understand one thing. Now this is actually a recent one, central bank digital currency remuneration with low or negative interest rates, because they are now looking at that due to the pandemic, right? The pandemic has pushed central banks to think in that manner. And when you read through all of this and you kind of get this conclusion here. When they are looking at central bank digital currencies, they are looking at an area where they can use it either for the entire citizens or in a different manner. Say in first tier, they can use it for the citizens, and in the second tier, they can use it for the corporations. So both would be in different manner. For citizens, it won't be in a negative interest rate. It would be just about zero, but it's something like cash which is being used. Now, CBDC is just not something of a concept, right? It's being implemented. Look at Sweden, look at China. You get to understand it really is being implemented. Now, once a country is going in and implementing that, others really don't want to fall behind. And that's what I are seeing from different nations. Crypto Singapore dollar aims to diversify landscape dominated by USD. So that means others are coming in to play this game, and that game is going to be so much of, confusion. Why? In this video, we just listened, the guy here talking here. If you come here and read this tweet from Dre, you kind of get a highlight thing here, which is he's the chairman, right, of CFTC. So one of the previous advisor to him is now in Ripple, the company. So that kind of gives a smaller understanding what he just stated there, right? He just stated what it was in the initial stage, how the XRP changed, XRP ledger changed over time, how it's now a different organization thing. It's not just Ripple working on XRP ledger. There is a lot of different initiatives working on XRP ledger, right? So that kind of gives you the perspective that they are there to advise all of the regulators, and that really pushes the initiative to understand that yes, we are in the right direction, just the market timing is being slowed down, or at least if you understand that properly, looking at the charts in a longer time frame, what I would say, instead of being delayed, the better word selection there would be, this cycle is an extended cycle. Now for those guys of you who are looking for short-term profits, it would be a bad thing, but those who are in this for a long run, when looking at that and thinking if it is extended, wow, that's cool, because the pump would also be much more than previous one, even if we have to wait a bit long, right? Now for me, looking at this chart, I don't think it is too much to say that we are getting a bounce from this long-term trend line. Like this trend line, which is a long-term trend line, along with this long-term support, is pushing the price up. Now why is it really important to understand? Because as we go above this area of 0.3, we get to go above a long time frame. So if you are really measuring that with preciseness, say it is going to move about 455 days above. So last 1.5 years, we have never been having a close in that range. So if we are able to go above that range, it is another sign that the market is changing. That is first. And the second thing, while it is moving to the upside and getting a bounce from here, do consider that level as previous long-term resistance, which will be then acting as support. So the base is set for a huge bull run there. That's my perspective. So guys, I hope you received value for your time and you understand the different aspects of implementation of Ripple, how their partnerships are working, and what really is happening around the crypto industry when we are looking at this great wealth transfer. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.